Welcome to this special breaking news edition of Ringside Digest. I'm your host Kirk Day, along with my co-host Nick Miller. And in this video, the draft lottery had just happened. The Chicago Blackhawks have won the NHL Draft Lottery. They will be the team selecting Connor Bedard. I'm assuming they don't go completely off the board and go with someone else. But gotta say, I do like the idea of Chicago winning this pick. You know, the end of an era, getting rid of Kane, Taves not coming back, and now they get the new perennial, generational superstar, closest thing to Connor McDavid we've had since Connor McDavid. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a bit painful for me as a Minnesota Wild fan, having to play him a couple times a year, but I do like it for the Chicago Blackhawks. Very, very good pick. You know, as well as Anaheim picking 2, getting Adam Fantilli. It's going to work out for them. It's going to work out for both these teams with no issues, I wouldn't say. What do you think about this, Nick? What do you think about the Chicago Blackhawks getting this pick?
Well, wow. I mean, like, one era's ended with Taves and Kane departing this year. Like, they've already said they won't be signing Taves, and Kane is gone. Well, we don't think Kane will be back. I don't think Kane will ever be back there. So, although maybe it could be enticing to play with Connor Bedard and help out there, but they won't make the playoffs, obviously, next year. But because they basically got Connor Bedard, Lucas Reichel, and a bunch of, like, AHL players. So, I mean, it's not going to be very nice for the first couple of years, but in the long run, this is going to start probably a new dynasty for the Chicago Blackhawks. This guy is the guy you want. He's like everything you want in a player. Like he's just the perfect leader. Like, you remember when he won the World Juniors this year? He was saying, like, and the reporter was asking about his record. He was like, "Don't talk about me. Talk about the team and what we accomplished." Like, that's the ultimate guy you want in the room. He's got all the skill of Connor McDavid. He's got the shot of Austin Matthews. He's got the leadership, it seems, of Sidney Crosby. Like, this guy's going to be an absolute stud, and it's going to start a new era in Chicago.
Yeah, no, especially, and like you said, they're going to be starting something. This is the beginning of a new dynasty. It's almost certain because they have guys like Frank Nazar, Lucas Reichel. Those guys will be good eventually. Right now, they may not be everyday NHL players, but getting those guys in with Connor Bedard, give it, I'd say, 4 to 5 years, this team will be scary again. You got to figure a few things out, you know. Their goaltending right now, I believe Peter Mrazek is their starting goalie. That has to change. Defense, Seth Jones, Caleb Jones as well, I believe, is there too. But they're going to have to just revamp a few things. They're getting there. This is the beginning. I do very, very much like this pick for the Chicago Blackhawks. And the Anaheim Ducks as well, number 2. I do like it. Adam Fantilli slotting in there along with, well, you have guys like Zegras, McTavish, Troy Terry. That team is going to be also looking very, very good in a few years as well. They don't have probably the biggest prospect pool either, but the guys they have now, they have a pretty good team now. They just need to fix a few things, just like the Chicago Blackhawks. Slot Adam Fantilli as well, just saying that he does go second overall and they don't change anything, like nothing is supposed to change. These guys will also be good. So what do you think about the Ducks as well, Nick?
Well, I think Adam Fantilli is almost a lock to go to the Ducks. And you never know. Like, with Matvei Michkov, it's unknown whether he's going to go second overall or eighth or 10th, or nobody knows where he's going to go because he's such a talented player. And I think were he not from Russia and in the situation he's in right now, he would definitely be going second overall. And that's not to say Adam Fantilli doesn't deserve it, because he does after the year he's had. But Matvei Michkov is just one of the most talented players. I remember a few years ago, Matvei Michkov was definitely supposed to go second overall to Connor Bedard, like when they were both like 16, 15-year-olds. But Matvei Michkov definitely has the skill. He does have to get a little bit bigger, but Adam Fantilli certainly seems like a lock to go to Anaheim, and I would love to see Adam Fantilli on the first or second line, either ahead of behind Zegras in the coming years. That's going to be a really scary team there in Anaheim too.
Yeah, and we're good to see Adam Fantilli play with the World Championship with Canada, playing with a bunch of
Yeah.
NHL players. That's going to actually prove his skill level. It's going to show that he's that guy. He can be that guy on that team. You may not need him to be that guy, but he definitely can step up, or he can step up in those roles when you need him to. As well, just you mentioned Matvei Michkov, his size. A lot of people are saying Connor Bedard might not have the size that he needs to be successful in the NHL. But when you think about this, look at this. He's 10 pounds heavier than Jack Hughes and 1 inch shorter. And we know how good Jack Hughes is in this league. He's absolutely dominating in the playoffs. He's an incredible skater, very, very smart, very, very skilled, and he's having major success. So I wouldn't worry about Connor Bedard being too small at all.
Yeah, and Jack Hughes has also had a few years in the NHL with NHL training. So that's not to say Bedard doesn't grow an inch. He's only 17 years old, or he might be 18 now. 17, 18 years old. Either way, he might grow an inch. You never know. And if anyone's saying that, I say stop it. Like, you've had players like in the league they've been like absolutely like they've been like 5'7", 5'8". Like Marty St. Louis is 5'8". He's a Hall of Famer, won a Stanley Cup, right? And you've got guys like Patrick Kane is only like 5'10", 5'11", something like that. Very small guy. He's had success. Like, there's been a lot of small guys in the NHL with success. Anything is possible, and Connor Bedard is going to be a superstar.
Yeah, different weight rooms in the NHL too. You're there with adults, not kids, so you'll get a new regiment, I'm sure, and like he'll grow into the man that everybody, I think, will expect him to be. But that's all we got for this video. The Chicago Blackhawks do have the #1 overall pick, followed by the Anaheim Ducks and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now that we have the draft, the order figured out, we will be doing mock drafts. We have some exciting stuff coming with that stuff as well. So if you like the video, make sure to like it. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see the mock drafts, like I just said, and all the stuff throughout the playoffs and the off season. So thank you for watching.